Legacy United Sandstorm's Dune Buggy mode may be the most compromised mode on this figure, but that doesn't mean it's the weakest or worst mode by far. For once in Legacy and War for Cybertron, we see a fully involved triple changer with almost no compromised modes. Everything on him looks incredible, and the Dune Buggy mode specifically references the G1 model almost to a perfect T. The main difference here is that it gains the roll cage on the back where the engine is sitting. I love this guy. In this mode, he has full rubber tires, all pinned wheels, a functioning wrench which works as a tow hook. Like, look at this thing roll. It's so smooth. The details on here are really nice, and as I mentioned, replicate the G1 toy very, very well. You can even do a little exhaust port, and there's no real details on here that scream like, oh, I'm a Transformer, aside from the obvious other mode kibble, like the giant helicopter front end on this thing's ass. But that's what you sacrifice with a triple changer. For sizing, here we have RTS Jazz and Legacy Crankcase, the other Dune Buggy, Legacy Beachcomber, and Machine Wars Hoist. Getting Legacy Sandstorm into his helicopter mode from the Dune Buggy mode is a trick and a half. The thing essentially flips all the way inside out over itself, which is kind of new for a Transformer. It almost is like Astro Train minus the reversal part. So you get the propellers pulled out, which are the hardest part, and mine are incredibly stiff on mine. And then you have to rearrange the tires on the front end and completely reorganize the chest. Untabbing the arms and tabbing them back in onto a different spot in the legs is really clever and forms the nice fuselages on the side of the helicopter mode. Once you have the propellers and the wheels in place, that's really where you're able to start folding everything over itself and get it into its helicopter mode. And attaching the accessories is kind of an afterthought when you get done with it. I do really like the helicopter mode. It feels really solid, and just the way you get there and the way everything snaps together and how dedicated certain aspects of this figure are to the helicopter mode is a nice change of pace. It means that all his modes look like they should, and I really like that. It's a very nice change of pace for triple changers where you compare it to Blitzwing and Astro Train, who had that leader budget but really sacrificed it for mediocre modes. Helicopter mode on this guy is fantastic. I am a huge fan of how this guy gets to this mode. If my previous statements weren't clear, the details on here are almost like perfect. This really does look like the G1 toy and the animation model, which is exactly what you want in a Legacy United toy. He has all the functionality that you'd want out of a helicopter with the spinning rotors and whatnot, and it cleans up pretty nicely. There are some sacrifices that have to be made. It is a triple changer, but overall, this is a fantastic flight mode for this guy. Like, it definitely looks good, and you can get it up on a flight stand. It has a dedicated port for it. Put that rescue cage underneath him, and you can start posing this guy like no tomorrow. It really comes together in this mode. There's so much that Sandstorm does right, at least that I feel he does right, compared to other triple changers that make him more worthwhile of this leader budget. He still has accessories and still looks fantastic. Here he is with Machine Wars Hoist, RTS Jazz, Legacy Crankcase, and Netflix Bumblebee, all for size. Getting Sandstorm from helicopter mode to robot mode is a pretty easy affair. It's kind of like going to a halfway point between the Dune Buggy mode and like then adding a few new steps to it. He has leg sliders that you have to slide out, and you have to get the whole backpack set back into its Dune Buggy position before you can really continue with this guy. But once it's back in, you kind of just adjust where the chest is sitting, flip out the hands, and extend the legs. Like, it's really just a set of extensions turning him from helicopter mode into robot mode. You just have to get the legs back into buggy mode and the backpack back into buggy mode. And after you do that, you have all the steps you really need to get him to robot. And I kind of like that he has like a Thunder Blast shell over his head. That's kind of cool. And there's a few things that you just have to watch out for when transforming this guy. Like, the internal chest sits at like a 45-degree angle. It's really weird how it does it. But overall, I think it's a fantastic transformation. And it's very fluid and very smooth. And it's a figure that I enjoy flipping back and forth, which is something I can't say about every triple changer. All right, articulation on Sandstorm. He's fairly posable. Like, some of his stuff is a little restricted because of how he works, He has a ball jointed neck, so it can look left and right. He can look a little bit up and a little bit down, but not too much. Arms rotate 180, or they would if there wasn't a backpack in the way. They go out that far. Bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, although like the top ones kind of snap into place. So if you pop it forward just a touch, you get that full curl, even though you're really only using that one elbow there. He has slight sword wielder wrists, and then he does have a rotation there. Now the waist swivel. There is a problem with the waist joint where a lot of people are saying that like the waist joint is popped forward a little bit. So if you're having trouble with the chest tabbing in, make sure to check that waist joint. But it does rotate ever so slightly. If you pop it forward, you can get a little bit more out of it, but like I said, then it starts colliding with the chest piece. So legs go up that far, back not nearly as far, out about 90, thigh swivel, 90 at the knee. He has a pretty good ankle pivot, and he can tilt his toes back. Not really forward, but back. And they are like on this kind of joint, so I don't know if that helps anyone, but it is there. Oh no, there we go. Okay, but yeah, overall, fairly posable. I think just about as posable as everything else that's come out lately, so very, very happy with him. This guy's robot mode is fantastic. He looks powerful. It looks like a leader class, in my opinion. He definitely feels like it in this mode. And I know Mark Clona said this isn't the handsome Sandstorm face, but man, that faceplate and those blue eyes, I'd be fooled if you told me otherwise. His backpack is shockingly clean. Like, this is what Sandstorm has. He has a backpack like this, and this one is incredibly, incredibly clean. The articulation and posing on this guy is very, very nice. You get all his accessories fully involved with posing him and articulating him, and you really have one fun time. That working wench does a lot for him. His blaster and forearm cannon are very, very nice. I like how they sit, and I like how he poses. Also, while he does have large heel spurs, he does feature the rubber tires, which kind of work as heels for him, and I really like that. There's really no details here that you didn't see in other modes, aside from like the hands and the shins or thighs, and he looks good wearing his alt mode, and that's something I really like about him, is he wears his alt mode well. For a size comparison, he is a little on the short side. Here he is with Leader Toxie, Animated Legacy Bumblebee, the other Dune Buggy, Beachcomber, channel mascots Laserfire and Target Master Shattershock, and of course, Machine Wars Hoist. I think Legacy Leader Sandstorm is a great figure. It's a perfectly serviceable update to that Thrilling 30, and it's going for a whole different look. It's so faithful to the Generation 1 toy, and I really appreciate that. It's nice to see characters from G1 start to make an appearance in Legacy United, and I think Sandstorm is a fantastic representative of that. Yes, he is on the shorter side. Yes, he's not as big as a lot of the other leaders are. He doesn't come with as many accessories as they do, but he still comes with everything I think he needs to, and a very cool and unique accessory with that rescue cage and the working wench. He really shows what a leader class can be and uses the whole budget. Like, it's the first time I feel a triple changer is worthy of that leader class budget, and I feel that makes him worthwhile of picking up. Anyways, if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the 2 videos next to him if you like my content. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Bots Obsession.